This is the Gaia Show. This is the Gaia Show. This is the Gaia Show.
It's the Gaia Show. This is the Gaia Show. It's the Gaia Show. This is the Gaia Show. It's the Gaia Show. This is the Gaia Show. It's the Gaia Show. This is the Gaia Show. It's the Gaia Show. This is the Gaia Show. It's the Gaia Show. This is the Gaia Show. It's the Gaia Show. This is the Gaia Show. It's the Gaia Show. This is the Gaia Show. It's the Gaia Show. This is the Gaia Show. It's the Gaia Show. This is the Gaia Show. It's the Gaia Show. This is the Gaia Show. It's the Gaia Show. This is the Gaia Show. It's the Gaia Show. This is the Gaia Show. It's the Gaia Show. This is the Gaia Show. It's the Gaia Show. This is the Gaia Show. It's the Gaia Show.
Hello. What's up? What's up, Geyer? Pretty good. I've got one question and I'll quit speaking. Say, when do I get a pizza on your tab? It's a joke, man. You probably won't get it. I'll let you continue with your space, bro. I'm just listening. All right, you too.
Yep. Technical difficulties. Old man trying to use a phone here. Uh, uh, what's up, Geyer? Just enjoying another bowl of Brunswick stew. Oh man, it's one of my favorites from back home. But thanks for having me on. I just want to start off by just talk about my platform for Portland. Like you said, I'm trying to defund the DSA. I'm tired of all these handouts to nonprofits that fix problems that, the city already has departments that should be fixing them. So my first, I'm calling my platform the Starting Five. So my first one is obviously public safety. If you live in the city of Portland, that's probably your first concern too. So we've got this Safe Streets petition that's coming through, and it's long story short, we're trying to use some of this extra PSEF funds for police and fire improvement. The other thing I'm running on is accountability for homeless spending. Like most of your listeners know, we dump millions upon millions of dollars into nonprofits that don't do anything other than tell us they're solving a problem. So that supporting small businesses, because our city council seems to think they need to have more fees to solve problems we already have money for. And last but not least, I would like to keep the Portland Trailblazers in Portland. So I don't feel like that's a radical platform, but apparently in Portland, those things seem to make me, one of the most unrational people to run for office, apparently. So that's what we're trying to do for Portland. But the thing I would like to get other people to kind of think about, there is something that a District 1 coalition is fighting right now called the Park Rose ESD. So it is a very sneaky way that the city council is trying to funnel more funds from small businesses to nonprofits. There's literally saying that they need this money to clean up graffiti, increase policing, and to clean up the business district and force these businesses to pay for the services that the city already should be giving them. So we will be diving deep into that this week. There's actually a hearing on it Tuesday, and the coalition that's fighting this will be meeting. And I will have my wife go for me because I won't be able to make it, but we're going to fight this as much as we can. It's not in my district, but I don't believe that District 1 should have to deal with this. And I wholeheartedly know if it passes in that one, it's coming for 3 and 4 next. So that's what we're fighting for. We're literally fighting for regular people to be able to keep as much money in their pockets as possible. So you can just try to live the American dream. It's very sad that that's a radical statement, but that's the state of Portland. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I have to say this. So it's, I will send you the link that the lady sent me, but it's a third generation business in Park Rose that is being forced out by these proposed fees. So literally 6 businesses on that block, or between 2 or 3 families that are fighting this. And the rest of this money is supposed to go to clean up, and it's all going to a nonprofit with no clear parameters like they always do in Portland for the money actually fixing what they say it's going for. But it's absolutely insane. It's like this just literally came across my lap this afternoon, but I can't believe that given the scrutiny of just the nonsense of not passing a real budget that they're still doing, pardon my French, bullshit like this. Your guess is as good as mine at this point because they're still trying to figure out how they're going to rob us. But the sad part about this is I want to say the name of the nonprofit was the Park Rose Historic Foundation. They're the ones that are really pushing it, but it's a coalition of just small mom and pop businesses. Uh, Essentially, single families running small rental properties, and they are literally renting it for less than market value because of the neighborhood. You would, but with these fees, they literally won't be able to keep the tenants they've had, like long-term tenants that can afford the rates purely because these landlords are being kind. But they're, it's the city's just the irony of saying you won't want, affordable housing. And here these people have affordable housing, and the city council is literally pushing. Okay. Sorry. I was getting instructions from my wife as well. There's also a property that's in this neighborhood that the city won't let this man sell. He's got two half-acre properties. They're trying to force him to sell them together uh, through some stupid arbitrary rule. And he's lost two sales of this property. He's had to spend 2,600 of his own money, cut the grass himself to keep homeless encampments, and he had two sales fall through with O'Reilly Auto Parts. This is an 85-year-old man, and his wife and him are the ones that are maintaining this property. Like, the irony of their rhetoric and the people they are constantly harming just does not, like, it doesn't sit well with me. Like, it's absolutely insane. So if anyone who, if you're going to say you're for regular people, like an 85-year-old man and his wife who are maintaining a property and the city won't help them, like, they're literally actively bankrupting you. Like, that's bullshit. So I would say personally, I am of the approach. My first goals in council would be to kind of get rid of all of the nonsense red tape that's already hurting people. Because, you know, uh, doing estate planning, I kind of, I have a heart for elderly people, but we have funds that go to them. It's the problem is they're raiding all this money for other projects. It's like, yeah, if someone wants to come up with a clear cut plan on how we're going to take care of our most vulnerable citizens, 100% I'm on board. But I can't say that like I've got a clear cut plan for that. In all honesty, it's like my plans are kind of narrowly focused on the things that are kind of affecting Portlanders day to day. You know, yeah, the first five is like I said, it's like when as this platform's gotten larger, people have realized that what things matter to me. So that's how this Park Rose ESD fight even came on my radar. Ironically, she we asked how this woman found us, and she's actually one of your listeners. Uh, so we're reaching people, man. It's like there's enough people that are fed up with this, and I know enough about the system to kind of point people where we need to go. But Portland has got one of the most just kind of amazing populations to me. It's like because everyone who is fed up, they just don't wait for the next election cycle. They will, you know, they figure out a way in the system to like, raise their hand. It's like, it's like, you're not going to do this to me. Like, unfortunately, we don't really get past that, raising the alarm stage in Portland because it has to go to, politicians that just don't care. But I would like to say is like, that's going to change. They're going to have to do everything they can to shut me up because I, I'm a, I'm a God fearing man. It's like, I'm not scared of these folks. Like my grandfather used to say, if common sense was common, we wouldn't have the issues that we have. But I will say that we're gonna start having more events. So we'll put we're rolling out a Southern hospitality cookout. So everybody will get to try my wife Florence barbecue. But that'll be kind of our first like official. Come on out, meet the family, meet the team. Kind of tell me what's bothering you about Portland, and we can figure out a way to fix it. We're also going to start going to a lot of different events from other kind of neighborhood associations and things like that. So we'll make a point to let everyone know when we're doing things. But the first one is August 9th. There's a barbecue for the Brentwood Darlington Neighborhood Association, and I will be on the grill. So come on out and see us. No, yeah, I can tap off and let folks talk. I need to check on the puppy. No, we'll be in touch. I plan on being a nuisance for all people that don't like the American way of life. Well, God bless America, God bless Portland, and God bless Geyer. Hey, love you, bud. Stay safe out there.
It was me. Um, and my question is for Mr. Matthews. So you're running for city council, and I'm not from Oregon. However, um, I I have a question for you. Given that Portland, it really this that part of the state is the where the liberal vote comes from. How confident are you? I mean, I know that you want to get voted in, but Portland is generally more liberal than the rest of the state. And so, how confident are you that you're going to actually go up? And also, again, I'm not a resident, but I feel that majority of Oregon is a white place, and it looks based on your profile picture that you're African American. And I was curious what the if you had any concerns about that, or what was your like? How are you gonna go against all of the liberals?
Well, yes, I am a black man. I have been my whole life. Um, and Portland is very liberal. I will say that. But I'm just going to be honest. It's like most of the things that I'm running on, it doesn't really matter whether you're on the right or on the left. It's like just day to day livability. Those are things that people used to be able to agree on, whether you're a Democrat or Republican. It's like you all agreed that we needed good schools, we needed safe streets. Like we all didn't want too much taxes. And if you're taking our tax money, it's like it better be for something good. And if not, give it back. It's like so it's like just to tell you, it's like I plan on explaining to most people that their far-reaching, anger trigger topics don't have anything to do with the day-to-day life that we live in Portland. It's like just you're correct. Everybody here is very, very, very left on average, and they blame all of their day-to-day problems on a man who lives in Washington D.C. When most of our problems in Portland we can trace them either to city council or if you want to go far enough to Salem, like just to be real. So it's one of those where yes, I live in the blue part of the state, but most of the citizens I've talked to, they don't agree with what's happening. The DSA is a very loud minority of Portland. Unfortunately, they have gotten in charge of everything and they're controlling the money levers. But most people I've talked to, they lean center like most Americans. I just plan on explaining to people that think that, because I lean conservative, that they think that we can't have a conversation. I do estate planning for very, very progressive families. And when I'm helping them protect their family, they couldn't care less that I've got a Southern accent, that I'm a black man, or that I'm a Republican. So I just want to go back to that. It's like if we're doing something for you, well, that's all that matters. Is like how, it's like, I don't care who y'all love. I don't care what you do in, your homes. So it shouldn't matter that I love Jesus, and that's my guiding principle. If I'm doing better by you than everybody else, then you should just let it go. Is how I feel. But that's how I was raised. I was from Columbus, Georgia, just outside of Fort Benning.
Thanks for letting me talk, bro. Matthias, first, I would commend anybody that confronts the liberal horde. And at the end of the day, the idea of whether you win, lose, it's not really, obviously, everybody wants to win, right? But I think the overall objective, typically when someone runs, especially against the liberal horde, is the message. It's about putting out the message that there's an alternative, right? That there's something else that could be had, right? Rather than, and, the chances of winning, let's hope you do, because that would be awesome, right? Um, you done there, Flash?
Yeah, I'm still here.
No, this guy's hitting the soundboard with all kinds of crazy stuff. But either way, I commend anybody that goes against the liberal horde. I ran for a legislative district. I won't say which one against the liberal horde. And obviously the objective was to win, but it was more or less to put out the message, right? To kind of keep them on their toes. In general, right? To get out the message, do the knocking on the doors, get out the vote kind of thing at the end of the day. And though I lost miserably, it actually planted the seed within a lot of people. So one little act of someone like you, kind of getting in there, running for office. It's Flash. It's Flash
Just
2.0. I just drop his ass down real quick. So yeah,
yeah, just drop him, guy, or just drop him.
drop him down.
Yeah, just drop.
Just take the mic from him. Yeah, but like I was saying, the objective obviously is to win. It would be the ultimate objective, and then you're at the uphill battle of getting in there, and you're just the only guy, right? So overall, it's really the messaging that's probably more important. A lot of people are like, well, it's not realistic, and to be honest with you, that mindset is kind of psychological. So if you look at just politics in general, the psychological part is kind of how elections are won or lost, right? So I'll give you an example. When they're like, "Oh, we got this seat, we're gonna win." Let's say the right's doing or the left, whomever. Their own people are like, "Well, what's the point of me going out to vote if we got this?" Right? So you never want to be in that mindset. So everything's kind of psychological. So whether you win or lose, at the end of the day, the message is going to be put out there. Other people will see that and say, "Shit, this guy." Look what he did. He went against the liberal horde. Maybe I'll give it a try, or maybe I'll go, knock the doors with them or whatever. So I always commend the people that, do this kind of stuff, especially in a place like Portland, which is, my opinion, is almost a lost cause. As it's just so leftist. But also, and then lastly, I'll leave with this. How do people get in contact with you? Maybe do interviews, stuff like that. Because I'd like to have you on my little show that I got on YouTube and stuff. And I got a lot of questions, and that'd be kind of a good way to get a little bit of exposure. I'm not big timer, but it'd be interesting.
Yeah, so I appreciate that, and honestly, that's a lot of I've worked in politics, so I've got a bachelor's in political science, and then before I went to law school, but I've worked political campaigns on both sides of the aisle from 17 till 2022. And that's honestly a lot of the reason why I'm running. It's like this place, a lot of my clients doing estate planning have kind of bemoaned the decay of Portland, so to speak, since like 2018. Is kind of the hard number everybody gives me. Obviously, COVID is, that was a whole time for everyone to navigate, but just kind of the post-COVID recovery never took off here. And then we've got such a low estate tax exemption that, we've got a big flight of wealth that I see daily in my personal practice. So, that's one of the reasons why I'm running, is letting people know it's like not everybody here agrees with what's going on. The liberal horde is a true statement. It's like I have been taught, or I've been, told some of the most asinine things from progressive people living here. It's like I've actually been called one of the oldest racist terms I've heard in my lifetime by someone wearing, a Black Lives Matter T-shirt living here. So it's kind of funny. But my whole play with this campaign is really to educate the voter. So we're trying to educate them, one, on just kind of the breakdowns of these high level, like we're solving homelessness issues, and then explaining actually what that bill means. We're explaining what I like to affectionately call rigged choice voting to everybody, to explain that you don't really get the choices you think you get with that system. And then again, we're just kind of explaining the decision making of city council and how that affects the day-to-day lives of Portlanders. So like you said, it's like I might not win. The only one who knows whether I win or not is a good Lord, but he knows that I'm going to give a good fight, and I'm going to just tell people the truth. People deserve to know what's happening with their tax dollars. That's not a crazy statement. That's, ironically, that is literally the deal that our founding fathers us, took a boat all the way across the ocean to found this place on. It's like we deserve representation that represents us, not special interests, not, whoever nonprofit that guarantees so much money into you getting reelected. But that's my opinion. So I agree, Unfiltered. I would like to have a longer conversation. The easiest way to get in contact is our website, matthiashallett.com. Other than that, you can just slide in the DMs and we can make something happen.
Yo, can you hear me? All right, sweet, sweet. I'm on my phone, so I just want to commend Matthias. Is that how you say it, right?
It's Matthias.
Matthias. All right.
Phonetically spelled Matthias.
Matthias. Okay, cool. Well, if I can lend any support at all, I'm 100% behind you. I just heard a little bit of your thing, but you sound like a reasonable, sensible, not Portlandish kind of person. So I got your back. And then
Great compliment.
as far as the lady that was on a few minutes ago, something just struck me really odd, because she said, well, we know that Portland and Oregon is majority white. Need I remind everybody that a majority white country, statistically speaking, did elect a black president. We have black legislators. We have black people in offices here in Oregon. I actually think it's a refreshing surprise to we don't get, and I'm trying to, it's hard for me to be PC. So if I say the wrong thing, forgive me, but
you don't have to be PC. You will not
people,
hurt my feelings.
let's put it this way. In ROC, a Republican of color, I like that. I don't know if you claim a Republican. I don't know what you're voting.
I'm a registered Republican,
but a conservative. You sound like a conservative, which is awesome.
There's a lot of conservative flag. We like keeping our money.
Yeah, right. And the thing is it's refreshing out of Portland, especially, because I for one do not like the stereotypes that everybody puts out there. I know there are, I understand. I come from the Midwest, so Portland has a much smaller black demographic in it, and I understand that, but I know quite a few black people in Portland, and they're not all on the Democrat train. And there's a lot over the years that Democrats have done to harm the black community in Portland, and a lot of black Portlanders still harbor resentments from that. They seem to think there's a stereotype that the older the black person, the more likely they are to be Democrat, because it used to be the stereotype of black Democrat. But Portland has a history. Portland City Hall has a history of this is a bad analogy, but paving over the black community. And you can take that quite literally. Those of you who understand the history of Albina and how the Rose Quarter came to be and all of that stuff, Portland literally has a history of paving over the black community. So there are a lot of black people that aren't going to just automatically jump on the Democrat train. So if I understand correctly, I joined a few minutes late, but you're running for a city council seat, correct?
Yes, I'm running for District 3 for Portland City Council. So,
And District 3 includes what, if you remind me?
so District 3 is kind of the inner southeast up to about Fremont, just kind of the inner section of the city. So, I live in Woodstock, and then I work in Alberta. So it's ironically, you say that you can see that they've paved over black people here. It's like,
Yeah.
you can see the
Well,
red lines if you ride the bus.
I know that neighborhood very well. I lived on Tenino. I lived on Flavel. I know that area quite well. And there's a lot of bad crime. I mean, those are, Felony Flats, for instance. I mean,
Oh, for sure.
how many ordinary working class, paying their taxes, owning their home, or paying exorbitant rent on their home, just trying to get by, are tired of living somewhere called Felony Flats? That's where you get, you know what I mean? That's going to be in your favor. And
Yeah, that's like 100%. That's why I ran. I've lived in this neighborhood. This neighborhood is the only one that I've lived in Portland. My mother-in-law and father-in-law have lived here for 20 years, and it's you're speaking the truth, and it's the same thing that everybody has
I
said.
don't want anything to do with politics, because I feel like politics is such a dangerous thing. And I think if both sides met in the middle, everyone would be so much more happier. And I think there's radical left, there's radical right.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do right now.
off. Oh, there I am. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but oh well. You get used to it in spaces. You just kind of ignore crap like that after a while.
It, man. It's like literally whoever wants to, whoever you want to TF next is like, I've got a few more minutes that I can give y'all.
Yeah, let me finish this really quick, guy. I don't want to take up everybody's time, but the one benefit, I'm not sure if I like the ranked choice voting or not, but it does open up more areas, and I think you may be able to use that to your benefit. It sounds like you're not a fan of it, but if I understand it correctly, it did open up a couple more seats at the table. Am I right on that?
So ranked choice voting, the reason I'm not a fan of it, so it is a forced runoff. So I plan on kind of doing a deep dive on this to explain to everybody, but it was sold to us as a way to have, like you said, more choices. The problem is if you don't get a clear 51% winner, then whoever the bottom vote getter is, all of their follow-on votes get split between everyone who's left. So essentially, if you say you really, really like me and you mark me as number one, and then I don't get 51% and I'm the lowest, and you rank the DSA people, higher than you expect to just from filling in the bubble. Like these things literally look like a Scantron, like you're taking the SAT. I kid you not. So it's one of those where it's like it gives enough of a gap to where your second, third, fourth choices might be going to votes for people that you absolutely would never vote for. It's the mechanisms of how they count the extra votes is what's confusing. And I hate to say it, is like if you like three people that are running, you need to write those three people, only those three people on your ballot, and then you can use ranked choice voting. But if you fill out all the choices that are options, essentially because it tells you everyone who's running and you rank them based on 1 through however many numbers of candidates. It's like it literally creates a free and when I was talking to a friend of mine who does real estate development, he had the perfect analogy. So everyone remembers the housing market crash, and it was all essentially based on overvaluing shitty investments. So they would take really, really good mortgages. So mortgage-backed securities, you just essentially Damascus steel really good investments with really shitty investments in the middle and hope that the shitty ones don't, come to pay before the other good ones cash out. And you sell it to another investor, and then they absorb that risk. It's kind of the same logic. It's like you don't know, if it's good or shit. But at the end of the day, once you kind of shake off the, AAA rated bonds, or the mortgage-backed securities, you shave those off. By the time you shake off the good candidates, you might have the shittiest ones left. And my sneaking suspicion is that's how we got stuck with the people that we have now. But like I said, it's like it is literally Portland's the experiment. This system's never been used anywhere. It's never been implemented anywhere. And then they, instead of slow rolling and just fixing the city's problems, they decided to be social activists from their seats. So that's why I don't agree.
In my opinion, I think what precipitated this, and I know we're talking about Portland, so this may be redundant, but I think it opened up another avenue for them to exercise corruption in the election system. I think what precipitated this was the last mayoral election where they try. I mean, I know there was 3 Antifa or Atifa adjacent. You got Iannarone, you got Rayford, and somebody else. I can't remember the third one. And they tried so hard to get them in there. Greg McGovern even came back from Atlanta. I mean, they did everything they could to try and get one of their comrades in office, and then turns around and Portland gets stuck with a Ted Wheeler clone. I think that really, really shocked the activists and the hard-leaning left, and I think they're reaching for things right now. And you're right, it is an experiment, but I think it's geared to give them more room to play with things. And I think we're going to see a lot of that come.
Like 100,000%. That's literally why I have a problem with it. It's like I am from the deep South. I've studied government. My grandfather is from Vicksburg, Mississippi, and he was a career soldier. And so we kind of studied government as I went through the ranks, so to speak, of undergrad, law school, things like that. And your take is 100% what worries me about it. It's another way that they can say they're giving us more choices, but
they're just manipulating.
It's like in 100%. You throw in the public funds matching where nonprofits can donate, door knockers and money, and then they're the same nonprofits that they just gave funds to. It's like, of course, this like I've only been here for 3 years, a resident for 3 years. And I've seen enough that just didn't sit right that I got involved. But, like your take is unfortunately, right on what I saw. And it's what a lot of, lifelong Portland residents have said. Like, that's why I'm running. It's like, we'll air it out. I might not get this seat, but I guarantee you they are going to absolutely hate the fact that I threw my hand in the ring.
All right. Well, I appreciate you letting us talk to you, Geyer. Thanks for having him on. I'm going to drop down so I don't monopolize the whole show on you, buddy. Sorry. This is just an interesting conversation. I got wrapped up in it. So thank you. And Matthias, I will definitely do what I can to have your back.
Thanks, bud. And more people like you, the better. And I'm a chatty Cathy as well. My wife has been ribbing me about it. But all right, I'm gone.
Oh, it's going great. Thanks for having me on. So it's Dan Sandini, Matthias, and thanks for having me on, Guy. Hey, Matthias, God love you. I lived in downtown Portland for a decade and was a citizen journalist down in the belly of the beast. The only racist I ever saw, Matthias, in all my years of filming, and it has to be, oh my God, hours and hours of videos. The only ones I ever saw were from the left. You know, in 2011, we had some leftists on the outside of our Tea Party yelling down at the one black guy in the GOP who was brave enough to come down to the Tea Party, you know, and they're standing on the sidelines, and I had them yelling, "There's the Uncle Tom, there's the one black guy." And actually O'Reilly put that out on Fox. And so I don't think you have anything to worry about from the right. And I think that most of the racism, all the racism that I've ever seen, comes from the left. They're such hypocrites, such the biggest hypocrites. But Matthias, I wanted to point out a couple of things that may be relevant or irrelevant. Something that irks me from living down there for 10 years. And the reason why I left is not a local issue. It's the taxes. You know, they've got to find out a way down in Salem to give the retirees a break, because everybody makes their money in Oregon and then leaves because they don't want to, you know, don't want to pay 10% of their tax sheltered accounts. You know, so, and even the politicians, they do the same thing. They go over and live in Washington State. But one of the things that really irks me, Matthias, and something to keep in the back of your head, and I know it's not in your district, and I love your district, by the way. I love that Southeast Portland area over there. It's just Portland is just such a great city, and there's so much potential. That's another thing I wanted to say to you is, Matthias, you can't fuck this up. It's so bad, okay, that you can't fuck it up. You know what I mean? You can only improve things. That's the way you have to look at it if they give you the job, you know, can only improve. So I can only applaud you doing that. But one tangible thing, I'm going to be downtown again next week. And I just spent a week down there. I come back frequently. I love Portland, and I'm a conservative. I love downtown Portland. And, but it really irks me, Matthias, that they put the elk back, but they haven't put back the statue of Abraham Lincoln. As a black guy standing down there and doing a video on the pedestal where the Abraham Lincoln statue used to be, how can they possibly defend? How can any liberal defend not putting back the statue of Abraham Lincoln in the Southwest Park blocks? Teddy
Okay,
Roosevelt,
you just
okay,
gave
but
me the best new site for my campaign videos. I was like, no joke. I was like, what in the hell?
just stand down there. Just stand there. I'll make a video of you. I'll message you while I'm in town. I'll give up the mic.
You're gonna be in downtown this week. It's like
Yeah.
the 30th, I have a meeting with the police, or not the police, with the firefighters union. So I'll be downtown.
I'm in on the 30th, but it won't be till late. But I'll message you, and I'll look at your website and send you a message. I notice your DMs are closed, so I'll message you.
Like, I would love to stand there and air it out. It's like, just to tell you how it's like, yeah, I am from the deep South. So it's like, I have never had any issues with conservatives being racist. I have, to tell a funny story, I actually represented a Klansman in a DUI because he needed a black attorney because the judge was black. So it's one of those. It's like, they're not prepared for who I am. Everyone kind of, to use their terms, you know, they just instead of misgendering, they politicize me. It's like they just assume because I'm black that I vote for whatever they agree with. I am from a place where if you have anything to say that is contrary to the United States Constitution, I can't get behind it. So that's what guides how I plan on governing. And if they mess around and let me in here, it's like you're going to come to Portland more than for a couple of days at a time. It's like you'll enjoy being here again, and you'll
That
actually be able
statue of
to.
Abraham Lincoln was 100 years old, Matthias. It was donated in the 1920s, and that whole square and all the money for it was private donations. They put that whole thing together. And now the kids, they come on their school field trip and they still sit down there and have their lunch around the empty pedestal. I mean, while I was down there, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And we're okay. The order in which they're going to put the statues back
Abraham
after
Lincoln,
George Floyd, it's
That
crazy.
was
I'll give up the mic, but
Abraham.
I'll give it up now, Guy. Thanks for having me on. Talk to you later. Hey, I'll hit you up, Matthias. Jane Carroll is a friend of mine. She does a podcast too that hits a lot of old time Oregonians, and I think you would make a great guest on our program. Dave Boyd is her producer, and I'll get you guys in touch.
Because I
I'll
would
send you a
love to
message.
go on a rant about the estate tax. So you were going on a rant that literally that is my business. I have quite a few clients that like literally the 5-year talk is whether or not they're staying in Oregon. And the only ones that want to stay are because their kids are still in school here. These policies don't work and people are leaving. So we will. It's like I definitely have a message for the seniors. Lauren already walked the dog for me, so I'm good. My ride or die took care of the Zelda for me.
Oh, thanks for having me on. How about the art tax is another thing that got to me, Matthias. That has really pissed me off. After I
Me
left,
too.
they billed me. They billed me in Florida. They billed me in Florida, and I told them "F you." That's what I told them. You know what they did to me, Matthias? The accountant from City Hall sent me a registered letter that said that they were going to hit up Experian and kill my credit if I didn't
Oh
pay
no,
the art tax after I left. That
that's
is just
absolutely
ridiculous.
insane.
And
All
what
they
they
do is put
spend
this
it
money
on,
in their
it's
pocket.
just terrible, terrible.
Yeah, exactly. So we're speaking the same language, Dan. Like we were holding it up for everybody else. Uh, it's like, but yeah, the only thing Portland seems, at least the incumbents seem to be good at, is finding new ways to dip their hands in citizens' pockets. They don't seem to know how to use the money we already have to fix the problems that everybody seems to want to deal with.
Well, God love you, Matthias, for running. Yeah, thanks a lot for having me on, Guy. That's a labor of love. I really hope you sneak in there. That would be awesome, Matthias. That would be incredible. You can only hope. Aren't they all socialists? I think 90% of them are socialists. We talk about it on the program all the time. I think
Everybody
somebody told me
I'm
they're
running
all the
against is a
socialists.
socialist. So the three incumbents are all socialists. But the irony, this is a nonpartisan race. That's the reason why I've just kind of gone like full bore. Okay, since we're not like actually, throwing our parties aside and making decisions for everyone, that's why I decided to kind of, throw the cape off. And I'm a Republican. I'm a registered Republican. It's like, you can look it up. You can look it up. I mean, they look up at my voter data. So it's one of those. It's like, if this isn't a nonpartisan race, then I'm going to come in here. Since you guys want to do Marxian economics, let's bring some Ludwig von Mises. Let's balance the books. Let everybody, complain once we
Now,
actually
you
have
know who
things
you remind
working.
me of, Matthias, is Thomas Sowell. That's who you remind me of. I would say let's
Oh,
bring a Thomas Sowell in
I
there.
love him. But you got to remember, I have a political science degree and I'm an attorney. It's not like I haven't read all of that. It's like, and that's the irony to me. I've looked up the other candidates' filings. I actually filed officially today. No one here has more than a bachelor's degree before they went and started being a glorified welfare baby working for the government for their whole career. It's like I've been in the market. I know what these policies do for people. So that's the difference. It's like I've done struggled. I've lost two businesses. I've built up more than that after the fact. It's like, I have more in common with the regular Portlander than anyone who's in office. And the irony of that is I'm a practicing attorney.
I see some people in here, Tinkerton. I see Spiritard, and you're out there, Guy. I really appreciate the fact, and Chris, I see you in here too. You guys should go down there. I think a lot of people appreciate those, and they think, oh well, people do it for views or they do it for whatever. It takes a lot of moxie, a lot of bravery to stand down there toe to toe with those people. It just makes my palms sweat thinking about doing it again. But I just will just send a thank you out there. People make donations and whatever, okay, but if people ever really say thank you to the people who are willing to go down there and document the vile, violent left, spit on you, do your tires, scratch your car, spray you in the face with mace. I mean, impossible, just vile, ugly people. And just by shining a light on it, I think that it helps to bring people back to sanity. I mean, and there's just so much room in Portland to bring it back to being a purple area. The best parts about Portland, if you look at it, came from Republicans like Tom McCall Park. People don't realize that Tom McCall Park was envisioned and brought about by a Republican governor. It wasn't that long ago that in the 70s and I think it went into the 80s. That it was before my time, but there were conservatives that were running that downtown Portland area and ran it pretty well. It went downhill since the 60s, but for many years, obviously, right? We have a statue of Abraham Lincoln and a statue of Teddy Roosevelt, in downtown. So it hasn't always been this way. And I think that people like Matthias, can help to bring it around back to being a sane, conservative, nice city to live in. I love Portland. Love living downtown. Love being able to go running up in the Southwest Hills, from downtown area down there. It's a very unique city. And I think the time is right. The time is right to take it back over again. Um, that's why they're so afraid at the ICE facility, Guy. I mean, that's their voting machine. Illegal voters. I think that a lot of these politicians in Portland can't stay in power, can't stay in office in the Willamette Valley unless they continue to crank out the illegal votes, the illegal voters. And I know there's no proof of it, but I think that's why they're panicked so much down at that ICE facility. That every time that van goes out, every time they round up a few more illegal voters, that's a few less people that can help fix the election, and they're worried about it. That's why it's gotten so violent. Anyway, I'll give it up. I'm talking too much. Maybe somebody else wants to talk. You know, Guy, hey, Guy, one other thing that I want to say is, you posted that picture again of those people posting pictures of you, like wanted posters downtown. Everybody that is down there in the streets never underappreciate what those people are willing to do. They could they killed my best friend Leo Stratton. I don't know if there's anybody out there that knew Leo, but I'm convinced that Leo was murdered. Okay, by Lewis, who was a guy, an Antifa guy, is down there. I'm very convinced that they did his brake lines or whatever on his truck, and don't ever underappreciate what these people do. They'll come to your house, they'll attack your children, they'll kill your pets, these people don't play by the same rules that we play. They have no scruples whatsoever. They're violent, disgusting, vile human beings. Tifa. And and uh and it never when I saw that poster of you, Guy, I'm like, and I posted a picture, the one they did of Leo. It just they're going to do something to you, Guy. It's coming. Something is coming, and maybe it's
That's
not
one
you.
of the
Maybe it's one of the
why
others.
I pray for Geyer every morning when I wake up because I feel the same way, Dan. Geyer is a friend. If you guys haven't noticed, like we actually have a friendship. But more importantly, I think that he is doing what the news networks used to do back in the day. Unfortunately, it's like you said. I don't want to miss, but Conspiratard and Chris. I assume those are other people that do what you do as well, Guy. But that's what that's what we need. Unfortunately, the media is controlled by people that want to push a narrative. Uh, Real Americans need to see what happens on the streets. And I rode TriMet for a year, my first year here, to and from work, and just saw the brokenness of the city. And my wife literally cried when I told her we were moving back to Portland. So I laterally moved to get into white collar law here. And the long story short, I met my wife in 2022. I was working a contract to do data analytics for the 2022 mid cycle and met my wife, married, and moved back to Georgia. And then about 10 months later, kind of calling to kind of run. Well, to move here first, it didn't start with wanting to run for office, but it's just this place, to say what Dan says, this place has a whole lot of potential. I felt it. You can, you talk to regular Portlanders, is like there's just there's a grit from one having to, endure stupid policy, but there's also just a hope that, like, maybe one day things will get back to where, your neighbors wave at you, your neighbors, let you know when someone's kind of creeping on your property, and then you can actually call the police and someone's going to do something. Oh, the whole yeah, like I've been meaning to contact Valley Ray. I've watched some of his videos. Like I've just been so busy, but yeah, it's like homie is like straight up pulling up on vulnerable communities and feeding people. That's like my wife's love language. So one of the things I do want to roll out, we're gonna do a prayer ride because I need to take my motorcycle out again. Slash walk around District 3, and we're also gonna go ahead and feed the unhoused homies, we call it. People that actually want, you know, we're trying to help them find a way to navigate this crazy system. And then the ones that, don't want help right now will, get a warm meal and, a prayer from me that they, make it long enough for them to change their lives. Definitely want to hook up with the homie. Like, like it, 100% him and the homie. Yeah, I am. That's ironically, it's a funny story for the DEI people. I actually had to get ordained with the Universal Life Church during my first probate court clerkship. During it started before COVID, and then I worked there through the furloughs. And my judge didn't want to do marriages for same sex couples, but ironically, he was a Democrat. But it is a constitutional right, and I was not about to have our court sued, so I did the 15-minute thing, and I've now been ordained for about 6 years now.
Okay, question number one. What do you ride, Matthias?
Currently, I ride a 2005 Triumph Speedmaster. So, long story short, my baby was a Husky Vit Pilot that got stolen, and me and my wife recovered it ourselves, and then waited for 3 hours for the police to come because she says it's 2.5. It was 3 hours in my mind. For the police to show up so I could get the report. So the USA man who had been sitting there with me could tell it. So, or AAA, sorry, not USAA. It was like that was actually my first like, this city is not right. Because my best friend from growing up is a firefighter in Nashville, and I called him an event, and he absolutely chuckled. He's like, "How is that not an emergency? You're standing outside of a crime scene waiting to recover your vehicle." But the Triumph was my recovery. Sorry, my wife just told me I was talking too much. I love that Husky, but the
Well,
Triumphs are cool.
that's what I want to tell you. Those people around in the space that know who I am the resident filthy, dirty biker trash of the community. So you're barking up my tree. Hit me up. We need to be friends on X. And if you're going to do a motorcycle related benefits or whatever, you talk to me about that. I will definitely add you some support on that one.
Deal.
And it's kind of funny. I mean, not funny, haha, but funny, strange, because this is all weird linking around. But the last speaker mentioned one of my good friends, and he's got my wife and I in here damn near crying now.
Yeah.
So,
I was saying I'm praying for your. It's easy.
yeah, was down there in Portland and all of that. And actually, the reason why it's funny, it's because the I have with Leo was we were actually on a motorcycle ride in Clackamas County. So, Geyer can move on. You keep saying that you're a recent, you moved up here from the South, and I think, I think that helps you a little bit. But there's a little bit of hindsight. I moved out here in '96. I spent half of my life in Ohio and the other. Is I wanted to move out of the city to be around fellow conservatives. But here's the funny part about it is over the last 20 years, I have seen McMinnville, Newburgh, Lower Wilsonville, out in Clackamas County, even all the way down to Salem, these little to be conservative. red cities outside Portland become blue cities because Portlanders are leaving. And making it worse and worse. And so many people I meet. So that's just more and more people, like I said, and not just conservatives. Everybody is leaving Portland because they're running it into the ground. And that's why it's so freaky now, because that's all that's left. It's the people that stay there because it's a freak playground, don't stay there because it's a nice city to live in. And I watch all these YouTube videos about the top 10 cities in the
We're having
country,
some
and
technical
Portland,
difficulties, but I think we're
anything but
getting
the
it
bad
figured out
list.
here. I'm going to do a quick
Portland,
refresh
everybody's moving out of Portland.
and just
And
stay
so
tuned,
hopefully
guys.
my,
Hang in
my,
there.
my prayer and my hope is that somebody like you grabs a foothold and maybe you'll help turn that around. Because when I moved out here, I loved Portland. I just
My wife is a lifelong Portland resident. Other than months, I've moved her to Georgia, and her family is. Yeah, my wife's family is from here, from Oregon. And you're correct. It's like we have a way to get stay here. My joke to most people is the largest demographic that's growing is people that used to live here. And you're correct. It's like they're going to force it. And because of the Portland policies, they're moving to Texas, they're moving to Tennessee, they're moving to Georgia, they're moving to Alabama, and they're bringing the policies that literally force them to move there. It's that up about the towns that I friends that I ride bikes with. The same things happen.
Matthias, let me jump in there. Everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Guyer's having a little bit of trouble right now. So if you guys hang tight just a second, we're going to pass it over to Scuba. Scuba, go ahead and jump in. Guyer's resetting right now. Give him just a second.
All right. Hopefully he doesn't lose the space. Anyways, yeah, Antifa is a huge problem, and it's moving into the smaller rural areas. Unless you've stood and faced a horde of these people, you will never know what that is like. But it is exactly what we need to stop them from doing in the other cities that are pouring out of Portland and shit. Is show them opposition. They need to know that they can't just take over things anywhere at any time. So that's why I say that boots on the ground, important, essential piece of this whole battle that we are dealing with all these people, because they just want to see everything burn. A lot of them are communists, and a lot are anarchists, and that's exactly what commies use, is the useful idiots, right? The anarchists to enact their means to an end of destroying the system. So I always give Geyer credit for, he stands out there against these people, and I've been there. There's lots of boots on the ground in this room, so I just want to say I appreciate you all.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Geyer, looks like you might be back on. Let us know if you're back, brother.
Yeah, I'll keep going a little bit. I was worried the space was going to drop there. We got the music in the background. Yeah, it's taking a minute. You almost ran out of your 90 seconds. Anyways, yeah, as I say, it's extremely important that we continue to try and uplift people and get them to use their voice, get them to stand in the breach. I mean, we need more people in the rural areas at the very least to protect their cities from these people. Be it the town halls and things like that. Make their presence known. Get out, wave a flag. I don't care. Set a time. Get a group of friends together. Go out on the corner, wave a flag. Bring patriotism back to this country. Because if you remember, after 9/11, all the flags that people had up, and the feeling that you get, with that is that patriotic feeling, and more people need to see that that's not dead in this country. That there is people that love this country and that are willing to express that. The silent majority has been so suppressed that it's a problem. We need to get the silent majority to get loud, get very, very loud, because the squeaky wheel gets the grease. That's the problem. Is these people, they make their presence known, they get loud, and then they have to capitulate to these people. I guess that's the problem,
I
and
will
especially in
say,
Portland.
I think that the conservatives need to get consistent, not necessarily loud, because just
Both.
angry on either side, people don't listen, and that's kind of been my approach in Portland. As you very calmly explain the errors of their judgment, they implode, and then you sit there and just kind of watch it. Eventually everyone's going to realize that that's the crazy person if they're the only one yelling. And that's from living in Portland for 3 years and kind of dealing with the far left. The vast majority of Americans are smack dab in the middle, and I agree we need to push the needle the other way. But I agree we need to get more active, but I don't think that loud is the way to do it, because then it just kind of falls into their narrative. Oh, the angry conservative, and I'm a black man, but the angry white man. It's like that's literally all that they want to say.
We don't
But
have to be angry. That's what I mean. Get out and wave a flag or make a march in front of City Hall with a bunch of people with flags. The Jesus March in Portland was huge and
honestly,
beautiful.
that was so much fun. That's how me and Guy or Digital even met. And I agree. It's like we need 200,000% be more vocal, united. It's like I apologize. I took the loud the wrong way. But yes, I do think we need to be loud with our united. I mean, just to call it what it is, it's like this is one nation under God. It's like it don't matter what you look like. We're all made in His image. And I grew up in a place where I didn't realize how honestly I didn't realize how messed up America was until I went to college. I grew up in an army town. It's like if you were a shitbird, you were a shitbird based on the character of you as a person. It didn't have nothing to do with your rank. It didn't have nothing to do with what you looked like. It was you were a shitbird because you were a shitbird. So it's one of those. I just don't understand how the party that somehow supposedly has a Big Ten and is so inclusive is so violent and it's so vile and then hates on the American way of life. It's like I'm a black man from the deep South. Good. It's like if this place was as racist as they said, I wouldn't even have been able to put my name on the dad blame ballot.
I'm offended by you saying you can't be angry. Just saying.
Well, this is America, so you're going to have to go ahead and lick those wounds yourself, Bubba. I ain't scared. I'm going to tell you. Go to MatthiasHallett.com. If you like what I'm putting down, put your money where your mouth is.
I gave you a follow, brother.
I'm not an angry black man. I am. Portland makes me angry. There's a lot of bullshit here that makes me angry, but I was recently described as a golden retriever. And I kind of thought that was funny. But I also got called woke in the same interview. So, like, Portland needs to make up their damn mind.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, what are you guys doing? Conspirator, what are you doing? Freedom. Say something. Oh, you
Hey,
got
what's
punk
up?
out.
What's up? What's up? I'm chilling, listening, excited to hear everyone talking and see all the familiar faces in here.
Yeah, Guyer, I appreciate you stepping up on that too. I've been kind of screaming it out for a little while. Um, yeah, it's getting really bad. I call it Portland 2.0. It they're pushing the schools, the transgender, all of it. Pride parades in one of the biggest parks we got. They take it over. Illegal immigrants flooded. I mean, just flooded the whole town. All the shops are taken over. Pretty much, it's Somali vibes. So, yeah, all the help we can get out here, it's vital. We just had a fair out here. Yeah, it was inundated. So, um, yeah, I don't know what else to say. I've been sitting here talking about it. I'm getting ready to go to some city council meetings coming up. So anybody, you can just look it up on YouTube, Hillsborough City Council, and yeah, you can get all the information you need on it. Subscribe to it, and that'll notify you when the meetings are going to be. Go on the website. There's a list of when the meetings are going to be. I will be there. Looking forward to it. I actually talked to a neighbor because we have a block party thing coming up, and the police department's going to be there. And I'm going to have my third talk with the police department because they're doing nothing out here, just like Portland. They're not pulling people over. If it ain't a major crime, they're not responding. So yeah, it's the same play. They just rolled it out, and they're rolling it out west. It goes all the way out past Forest Grove. So yeah, they're taking it all the way to the coast, and they're not wasting time. So I grew up in Portland as well, uh, all my life. Back in 2016, I moved west. It was better. Now it's just as bad as Portland. It's really disappointing. We need to get as loud as we can to get people out in the streets and let them know that, hey, we're here. I think people are just afraid. It's been a lot of this going on, and people sat back and they got afraid. I don't know. I don't know when it was. It was probably about 2018. I seen it out here. Everybody just kind of clammed up. This used to be farming community, and then, the data center thing going on out here too. They're talking about there's 40 to 50 data centers out here going in, and there's plenty of problems out here to cover. And Geyer, we need a whole lot more investigative journalists like you. Uh, that's where I think it is. The more investigative journalists we got, the more we can expose. So in all areas, so it's expanding out like a cancer, guys. So that's all I got for now.
Yeah, I think he actually dropped down to the chat.
You should go across the bridge and just check it out and see if you notice that it's worse. I don't know how familiar you are with the area, but exactly what we're talking about. And that's why I don't think that the light rail is a good idea across the I-5 bridge. I think that would be extremely bad idea. And yeah, it's just going to flood more of Portland into rural areas in Washington State and all that. I think it's all going to shit. You got real quiet, guy. That was a little better.
Oh, 100%. I watched that going from the north side to the south side, going to work on TriMat. It's like I watched literally people come camp in my neighborhood, and they, because it's safer for them to camp in this neighborhood than it is downtown and other areas. But that explosion in the 3 years I've lived on the same block has gotten absolutely insane. Um, Oh, 100%. It's like, it was like Powell's crazy. So now that I drive to work, saved up and bought a car, didn't use the PSEF funds for one of those e-bikes. But I like drive down 52nd, and that Powell corridor is absolutely insane. And the only time they ever cleaned it for the 3 years we lived here was like literally leading up right to an election. And I laughed when my parents were visiting this spring because it was cleaned up just in time for the primaries, and like I literally felt like an idiot because I complained about how nasty everything was. And then my block was claiming my parents were here for a week, and then 2 weeks later, I sent my dad a photo. I was like, "Up, it's back." It's like it's insane here. It's like I am so sorry that's moving west, but that's kind of the irony of left leaning politics is like it doesn't work and you move to another place and then you bring the same ideas that didn't work. It's just it's asinine. Don't even get me started on the tent, Skyer. Like, why in the hell is the city paying for stuff to make people more comfortable living on the street? Like, how in the hell is that compassion? It's like, just blows. Don't get me started on that. It's like the fact that the city we're using taxpayer funds to give more drug paraphernalia, help you live out on the street, and then if you were on my property, I can't kick you off legally. Like, that's some bullshit.
Oh, the one in the pill there.
carry it in your heart.
It's the power of Jesus Christ. It's God's got my back. That's exactly it.
Amen. And let the church say amen. But I have to say this, Geyer. It is absolutely insane to me that that is what you guys are going through to tell the truth. Like that's the part that really bothers me. It's like obviously
Really what it is.
it's like I 100,000% have to say this. What you're doing, that's called going to the primary source. As an attorney, you literally never take anybody's word for what it is. We go exactly, and I am a constitutionalist in the way that I read the law. So it's like if everything comes from there, then it has to make sense with the Constitution. But in journalism, used to, you went to the primary source. You go to the exact place where the news was happening, and then you say what's happening with the people that are involved. Unfortunately, only you independent guys seem to remember all of the journalistic integrity, like rules. It's like it's crazy. It's like it's the irony of the Walter Cronkite Award going to someone that's on the take with the mainstream media is just funny to me because if you read enough history, the reason why that man was so important for journalism is like he literally told you the truth. Period. And it's like the American public deserves to know what's happening. Period. End of discussion. So thank you for putting yourself in harm's way. Like I said earlier, it's like me and my wife pray for everybody in our family. And I am from a place where I value the truth. So all of you independent journalists, you got a friend in me.
You got a friend in me when the road looks.
Don't get me started. It's like I'll sing and then everybody will cancel me.
So I even got a shirt. I got a merch line coming out, which is awesome, and I got a plan for a lot of the profit from that. But anyways, the merch line coming out, one of the shirts says the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And that's it. That's all the shirt says. The shirt says. One of the socks says 1A, and then below it says because my First Amendment said so. And that's what this is all about. What I do here, what we do here as a team.
Well, we will do a marketing campaign. I will step out with the high socks and the most aggressive cowboy boots I can find.
We got a hand up. I got a couple. Actually, Angry, go ahead.
Okay, you caught me mid drink there. Sorry.
You drinking?
Mountain Dew. Actually, I'm trying to wake up. I got to go to work here in like an hour. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, you know what? And Matthias, you got to understand, Portland itself is afraid of the truth. You guys, we keep saying the word truth here. One of the things that got me is I've been doing this for a long time, and we've gotten to call it affectionately the old wave and the new wave of patriots. And I was part of the old wave, and social media wasn't a thing like it is now. People were filming, people were documenting what was going on down there, but this whole new live streaming thing, which I'm also a part of, so don't let me be a hypocrite. I'm not saying anything bad about it, but the lefties and the protesters down there, they're like, well, you're going to take this and you're going to edit it and you're spinning a narrative and yada yada, when most of us, myself included, we just stand there with a camera and let the action take place in front of us. And we're not spinning anything. We're not writing any narratives. Literally, like Geyer will tell you, I'm like one of the most quiet people down there. I just stand there and watch everything. And what that is, it's giving the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You cannot argue with what you see on a freaking live stream when you're video documenting everything in real time as it takes place. People are watching it. See, that's the difference between the Cronkite days and now. It's people are watching it in real time as it actually happens. And You can't fake that. You can't narrate that. You can't. It's actually freaking happening, and that scares the living piss out of people in Portland, and especially the activist left. They cannot handle reality playing out right there on the screen, and that's why they hate us so much, and that's why they villainize us. That's why they demonize us. That's why they're violent against us, because we are actually showing without any cockamamie crap in the background. We are literally showing in real time what is going on down there. And I've been around since the beginning of the Patriot Prayer days, and I saw what the threat, quote unquote, of Patriot Prayer coming to Portland. This is before Portland even knew what Patriot Prayer was. I saw the threat in what City Hall organized to counter Patriots organizing in Portland way back in 2017. And nowadays with live streamers, we expose it. Like I said, I keep saying it in real time. You can't get away from that. And I think that's why they hate us so much. And, this is why I'm saying I will be excited if you can get, a bunch of us live streamers and a bunch of us, regular stream, because we regular stream too, like this, to get behind you, and so that they can see exactly what's going on for themselves. They can make accurate, informed decisions, and hopefully that puts you in a position to be victorious.
So I agree with you. Living in Portland, that's kind of been one of the things that, I've discussed ad nauseum, honestly, with my wife. It's like, why are these people so stuck on their own reality instead of the reality of the situation? And honestly, you're kind of speaking into me and Geyer's play. That's 100% what I plan on doing. My lawyering style is just tell the truth, shame the devil, as my grandparents used to say. I just plan on letting them know the reality of the situation and letting them make a decision for themselves. If they choose stupidity after we have shown them unequivocal truth, then like you said, it's like we can't do anything about that. But if we show them the error of their ways and just patiently explain to them that the things that piss them off you voted for, that's what I hope to do. But like you said, it's like you guys have been at this for a minute, man. It's like, and for those that have fought the good fight despite all of the craziness, it's like that is the reason why I'm running. It's like there have not been enough people to just stand up and say this is wrong. It is. So it's like I can't say I disagree with most of what I've heard tonight. It's just one of those where it's like I'm trying to make the difference in the one seat that I can see that I can take. And Lord willing, more people will kind of, get a little gumption, a little grit to them and want to stand up, like you said, toe to toe with these idiots. It's like, I'm not scared of this. Like, I'm not scared to stand down with y'all. Like, me and Kyra done talked about it. It's like, I'm more scared of me being able to hold my tongue in a way that won't kind of sour this platform. But wholeheartedly, I plan on rattling
Sour
the
it,
cage.
bro.
This is my
Sour
wife's.
it.
Well, I'm gonna try my best to. I got a family too, guy. It's like
I know,
it's
I'm
like
just
if
playing.
I was
I'm
a
just
single
playing.
man, it's like I'd be out here burning it down. It's like, but I've got other people I've got to account for. So I can't be as reckless as I would if I was 10 years younger. I'm 35 now. I've got to
100%.
act like a grown man. But
On,
apparently,
on
ain't
that
nobody
note, Matthias,
city council as an adult. So I got some leeway.
on that note, Matthias, you said your wife is a Portland lifer, right?
She is.
Okay, so ask her. I'm sure she's familiar, and I know people are going to roll their eyes because a lot of people think this is conspiracy theory. But ask her what she knows about the Jeremy Christian TriMet case, and if she knows about it, you guys need to be aware that the system that you're trying to get into actually orchestrated that event to keep patriots from having a movement in Portland. That's the system that you're jumping into.
So I asked her. She doesn't know exactly the details of that case, but I will say this: these people cannot take anything from me. I don't have anything for them to take. I have lost 2 businesses already before I decided to kind of be a conventional attorney. I had a long story short, I had a bioremediation company where we're using hemp and probiotics to clean polluted sites. And the irony of the PSEF being easier to get funding for than the EPA for those type of programs blows my mind. Also, I had a AI attorney company that got essentially tabled because the Black Lives Matter fund decided that they didn't think that it would serve their purposes. So I 100% know what I'm stepping into. They don't know who I am, and they are not prepared.
Hi, this is Lauren, his wife. And I actually do remember the 2017 attack. I think that's the reason why Milwaukee voted so much for not having light rail go through by the aquatic center, is because there was just such an uptick of violence that happened. I actually grew up in Milwaukee. I graduated from Milwaukee High School. I lived on 71st in Madrona for almost my whole elementary, junior high, and high school. And I do remember that story now that I looked it up. But yes, I agree with everything that was said about light rail bringing more crime and more violence, and the fact that we, since, what was it? How many years has it been since we've had more police, but we've had a 30% increase?
Yeah, that's what so we haven't had an increase in our police force for matching our population since 1992.
1982. And I think that's the reason why, we all feel
unheard. We literally don't have enough. So I will say this. I'm going to read you the first line of the Portland Enhanced Community Safety Initiative. So the city of Portland currently ranks 48th among the 50 largest cities in the nation in police per capita. That means per person. It's like today, Portland has the same number of sworn officers as in 1992, while our population has grown nearly 30%. That's 177,000 more people being served by the same number of officers. The national average for cities of our size is 2.4 officers per 1,000 residents. We have 1.2, literally half the national average. Like, I kid you not, like, that is insane to me. Like, the amount of PSEF plans on spending, I kid you not, 1.5 billion between 25 and 29. That's the next 4 years. I can't make these numbers up. The Portland Community Safety Initiative is literally just asking for the overage, because that fund was supposed to get between 30 and 90 million annually, and they're getting about 200 million annually. Like, that's absolutely insane to me. And they think that 50 million is enough to balance our policing and fire department to make it modern, literally to the standard for the size we are now. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, like what Angry was saying, it's brought a whole different element having the streamer, and it's all live versus just clips and whatnot. That's exactly why Pam doesn't do live. She does do the old clippity type deal and skew the narrative and all that shit. But yeah, it's important to expose these people. That's exactly what the need to hold a mirror up to the whole world about exactly what is going on, because what Geyer's been reporting on is gangland. It's seriously a gang mentality now down there, and that's a problem. And it's going to continue to get worse. And yeah, these people need to be exposed. I think the fraud trail you're on too is a good one, because like Nick Shirley's done, exposing a lot of this fraud is going to stop a lot of these NGOs from pumping all the extra, here's your needles, here's your pack of, foil, whatever the case, all that stuff they put under the guise of harm reduction is bullshit. They don't need all that stuff. Like, okay, I got it when there was needle exchanges, right? Okay, let's stop the spread of, intravenous diseases and whatnot. Okay, that makes sense. But the rest of it, you need pipes and foil, and then no, they're just exacerbating the problem. It's create the problem and then offer the solution and steal the money from the taxpayer.
Or they pay it back to the people on city council and put it in their campaign war chest.
Sounds like you got some FOIA requests to make there.
Hey, thanks for holding the space. I just wanted y'all to think about the fact that it's really about legalizing crime across the board, all crime. And they have many different vectors for doing this, and they usually start it really small. So, the big hats off to journalists like Guy and others who can kind of feel it in the beginning. Because I think a lot of this stuff came about and just was so big that by the time people paid attention to it, they kind of like had their hands up in the air trying to wonder or trying to figure out what kind of move do we make. And we just have to be more proactive instead of reactive. And I feel like we're moving there gradually. It's just going to take time and patience and consistency. And I just wanted to close on the fact that I finally did the real dough toss. So I'm going to have a good picture of a breakfast pizza posted here pretty soon. I did the actual spinning dough toss. I've never done that before. Today's the first time ever.
Hey, we like spinning dough tosses over here at the Geyer Space. I am
Hell
a
yeah.
chef. I come from a chef background. I spent like 15 years in the kitchen.
Oh, that's tight. I worked in restaurants for 10 years, but I didn't get any proper training or anything like that.
You never need proper training, bro. That's what a restaurant's all about.
Yeah, I stole some
especially,
recipes.
especially when there's DEI hiring everywhere in Portland.
Oh my God. I worked at this Chinese restaurant. Well, I worked at a Japanese restaurant. It was all Chinese people who worked there, but they taught me some legit stuff,
I love it, man.
Are you serious?
Good
100%
Lord.
Chinese people.
Hey, Geyer.
Hey, who said that?
Angry.
Oh, what's
I got a request from your YouTube chat, and I think that some people don't know this, and I think it's important that they know this. So, can I give a 60-second rundown on what I was talking about?
Okay, yeah, go ahead, and then let's see, and then we're gonna go to I don't think Funkmaster was finished, so we'll go Funkmaster and then Rocco, and then yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'll make this absolutely as quick as possible. So, in 2016, Joey Gibson decided to start Patriot Prayer. The very first action we had was to protect a liquidation store on the east side. Well, that's when Ted Wheeler, mayor of Portland, found out about Patriot Prayer. He was scared, wanted to prevent, and then the 82nd Avenue Rose Festival parade that got canceled. Patriot Prayer decided to do our own parade. Ted Wheeler actually showed up at that event, and him in City Hall, I'll throw a name out there, Chloe Daly, decided in order to besmirch Patriot Prayer to try and keep us from getting a foothold in Portland, decided to organize something from City Hall using a known psychopath from the Montevilla area. They placed Micah Fletcher on the train with Jeremy Christian, and you can read about the rest. I won't say it out loud here. But two people are not with us anymore, and Michael Fletcher, by all accounts, should not be with us anymore. And that was all a setup to use Jeremy Christian as a pawn to make Patriot Prayer look bad in the press. That's the links that Portland City Hall was going through to try and prevent the Trump Patriot movement from happening in Portland. I'm done.
And that's all facts. Thank you, Anger, for sharing that. Before I go to Funk real quick, yeah, we've got like some like history here. people who have been doing this for, since, I mean, daylight goes back as far here in Portland. What is 2011? When the Occupy movement happened in 2013 and 16, all that on the waterfront. Like, come on now. And all of that with Joey Gibson. I wasn't documenting back then, but I was there. I was in downtown longboarding, man. That's what we did. We longboarded through downtown, and that's one of my biggest things here. Is I want my children to be able to, if we're still in this city, I want my children to be able to longboard through this town on the waterfront. So go ahead, Funk. Thank you, Angry, for sharing that.
Yeah, you got a few in here. You got Freedom, Angry, yourself, Funk Master, all from the beginning. You guys are true patriots.
And even
Yeah, I
even the
started
new
up
school,
in-
man. Like the ones that have stuck around, the ones that are still here, standing, talking, coming down to the city, voting, being a part of their own elections and stuff. I think that's also incredible too. So don't give up your voices. Keep speaking. This is the Geyer Space. Go ahead, Funk.
Yeah, and especially those of y'all who might have little differences or from time to time don't see things together or don't see things eye to eye. Just remember that if that other individual that you don't agree with at 100% at the time can turn around and make pain and suffering for the enemy, then just give them a break. Cut it short, get your disagreement, reach your conclusion, finish the drama, and then let's put our spirits forward. Hearing Angry Oregonian talking is very inspiring because they were able to garner thousands of people in attendance at their events before. I started in 2009, but I started like with phone activism. I didn't actually start doing protests and stuff until like 2011, 2010, and through 2012. And yeah, we really want to see every generation come in because people who are, not spring chickens anymore really want to see young people coming up and taking initiative. And taking initiative is all about. So I don't know how we get Patriot Prayer back. I mean, I think that sounds great. Why can't we have that back now if that other dude is gone? Why can't we bring some of these other things back and bring up attendance size so these people can stop faking the majority that they're doing? I'll land with that. Thank you.
And
I will have a prayer event in District 3 if y'all want to come down to Portland.
I mean, Matthias is about making it happen.
Absolutely.
That's
literally that's on my like I mentioned to the homie Free. It's like I plan on doing a prayer ride and a prayer walk in my district. So we will literally have a Southern style tailgate. So if you guys have food you want to bring, you can come on down, bring your family, bring your kids. We will walk around the neighborhood for people that don't like motorcycles, and then we will ride as well around my district because my wife, if anyone wants to bully her into riding my motorcycle with me,
It's not gonna happen.
I would love
not
for any females that like riding motorcycles to bully my wife.
It's not gonna
I'm
happen.
gonna get with it. I'm gonna get with you on that, Matthias. There's something coming up here soon. I'm gonna get with you on that.
Lady A just said, if your wife rides, she'll ride with me.
I'm trying. I am trying. It's like I have tried. It's like we made it. I kid you not. Not even a full city block, and I had scratch marks on my back and just for about a week after that.
Dude, she's okay with riding on the back seat, but she refuses to ride in Portland. So if she offers to ride in Portland to get your wife on the back of your bike, that's something big.
Lauren's in tears right now, saying, "I can't do it."
I just want
It's like, but I 100%. It's like, yeah, Portland. Maybe that's one of the reasons. Is I need to take her out to the country before I do it. But yeah, I was like, I've ridden all through Portland for 3
You're
years
welcome
now.
out here in Yamhill County anytime, brother.
That's where we like to.
I have a list.
I like that county.
That's where we like to go. It's like we'll probably take you up on that.
Oh, there's a lake out there that I really
Oh,
like.
Yamhill is beautiful. It's like I
Yamhill's
have
gorgeous.
clients out there. I've got a friend who owns some land. He's like, I could cut you a little patch. You could put a spot on it. It's like, but I'm running for office here. Don't try to tempt me out of here, Free. I'm trying to change this place.
So here's the thing about like Yamhill County and stuff like that. There's other counties that surround this area that are beautiful, man. I mean, Oregon is just filled, and I'm gonna go off for a second here. Oregon is filled with absolute beauty. I mean, we document, the city and what happens in the city. I'm gonna give Rocco the mic here in a second, but we document what happens here in the city. and see all the evil and like the corruption and just the dirtiness and the sickness of it. But you go 30 minutes outside of the city. You even go inside of the city to this place called Forest Park. You walk around Forest Park, it's gorgeous. You go up into the Rose Garden, it's freaking gorgeous. You go up, we've got some beautiful buildings out here when it's quiet and nice. But we're going to be fishing this month on some of the most beautiful coastlines you'll ever see in your entire life.
I want to go fishing. I've got
You're coming, bro.
I am a fisherman, so my family's Cajun, and my wife doesn't like seafood, so I've been kind of going
It's all
stir crazy
yours.
living out here.
No, you're coming fishing with this, bro. And if you guys want to get on the boat, that's 971-599-9574. That's Northwest Bound Outdoors. So it's Kevin Williams with Northwest Bound Outdoors. Fill up his booking this month. Anyways, that's what Oregon's all about, is fishing, loving the outdoors. And we stomped down this IP28 initiative, by the way, guys. That's not going anywhere. We stopped it. And with the 55 people that have been in this chat for over an hour now, for the first space, I got to say, hats off to you guys for keeping it alive, keeping the conversation going. We're going to keep the conversation going. Thank you, guys. Rocco, go ahead with the mic. Peace and love to you, my brother.
Peace be with you, my brothers and sisters. May God bless you and all of Geyer. Thank you for your kind words. I need all the help I can get, my brother. It's funny. Thanks for having this space. I just want to say that for starters right off. This is your first space. You're doing an amazing job. But then again, you have your followers from YouTube and stuff too. But if this is your first space on X, you're doing an amazing job. Thanks for giving us a place to come in and speak truth among patriots, real patriots, and real truth with integrity behind it. You know what I'm saying? I believe it was Mateus that was talking about his wife riding a Harley and a block, and you had scratches down your back. If you actually a bike, I think you said bike. I'm not sure you said Harley, but I was about to say if you're riding a Harley, you're supposed to have scratches down your back. And if you're riding a Harley hard enough, you'll actually get those scratches on your chest too. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Ha ha, you hear me. You know what I'm saying.
I hear you, buddy. It's like it's a triumph. I don't have a Harley. I don't have the pocketbook for a Harley. It's like I got my Triumph from a friend. He became a friend after I bought it. So that was an insurance purchase that I have got very lucky on. Well, not luck. It was the good Lord that gave me that deal. But it's like I ride hard. That's probably why my wife doesn't want to ride with me. She's seen me ride.
Rocco, I've had bruised ribs. Does that count?
That kind of counts. Yeah, you're being held right. If it's not a Harley and it's not an Indian, I guess a Triumph would be the third best label that you could ride. Just saying.
I can't afford American. I'm broke.
Aren't you a lawyer?
Title doesn't mean money, my bud.
Become a city council member. You'll be able to afford American.
Oh, it would actually be a pay increase if I got that job. That's the funny part. It's like no wonder these idiots don't want to do anything. It's like they're making like $25,000 more than the associate attorney's fees in the city. I kid you not.
Oh, Antifa will throw you plenty of money, I'm sure. But I'm sure with your integrity, you'll decline
That
it.
ain't my style. I'm a good old red-blooded American. My grandfather and every man in that generation served this country and ultimately paid the ultimate price from, hate to say it, but from what they dropped on our boys in Vietnam, the Agent Orange. So there is quite a few people in my family that have shed blood for this country. There's absolutely no way in hell that I'm going to do that.
Thank you, Rocco. Appreciate you, brother, for coming in and bringing up some comedy and a good question and good topics. That's what we're all about here in this space. We appreciate everyone speaking. Let's keep it going, man. I got my YouTube open.
Rocco, let's be friends. You sound like a homie.
He's one of the OGs.
You could say I was an OG if I was a G.
This is
just
G
yo.
space. No, I'm gonna take that back. Never mind. Go ahead,
Yeah,
anybody who
I'm
wants
more.
to grab a mic. We got Purple Pill open, I think. If you want to drop some stuff to talk about, stuff to post, whatever, this go ahead, man. Like this is an open space. I've got Sentinel in here, Sentinel Directive, co-directing everything right now, man, and doing a great job. Uh, so yeah, let's keep the conversation going.
Yeah, I'm definitely more of a lone wolf than a gangster. That's for sure.
And if you notice, you don't have a actual purple pill, but he's put it in the nest there for you. It's the faux purple pill, so that you can
Yeah.
go up there and drop stuff.
Thank you. Thank you,
Because
Scuba.
X is retarded.
I thought it was the fa purple pill.
Yeah, what's everybody call? So is that like an original, like what a space started calling it, or is that what X or Elon starts calling it?
I think that's what the people just started calling it because it just looked like a little purple pill. Sometimes it's black. If you've checked everything in there, it's a black pill. So you got to be staying away from any of those black pillars. That's not good stuff. If we were changing the name for a little while to see if it would stick, we were calling it the Ozempic, the purple Xanax. We tried a few different things just to kind of shift it around, see what happens.
Purple pill just.
I'm gonna tell you a little secret. You don't want to take any pill because once you start taking a pill, there's gonna be side effects to that pill, and you're gonna have to take another pill. Then there's gonna be side effects to that.
I literally was about to say a joke just like that.
Hey, speaking of not taking any pills, does anybody in this chat drink raw milk? Because I tell you what, if you just drink things from the earth and you eat things from the earth, and as my friends like to say it, the earth, and you feel better. You don't have to take all these pills that big pharma tries to prescribe you. It's absolutely ridiculous. It just makes you even worse. I mean, the number one cause for death in America is modern medicine. Think about that. Like we have doctors running these places that are just prescribing pills because all it is just a money grab. And that's a problem that I have. So shout out to the people that drink raw milk. I drink raw milk. We love raw milk over here. And I think you should be drinking it too. I think that's something that maybe we need to bring back, man, because it's been outlawed. There's excuse me, not Hamas, homogenization of the milk. It's mandatory here in Oregon and I believe across the United States. And that's another thing about the IP28 thing is we squashed it because they were going to try and take our milk even if it was homogenized. I have a problem with drinking a lot of milk I have a problem drinking milk from multiple different cows. I like to know where my cows come from and where my milk comes from those specific cows. That's a goat. But this is the goat space right now because we've been open for about a while now. We've got a lot of viewers, a lot of people listening. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're talking about raw milk and how it can better yourself. So drink some raw milk. My main point of this is just do things that are more natural and more holy to the earth. Because we have all of these, things that we focus on, the spaces, social media, what's happening with him, what's happening with her, what's happening with what we have to call they, them now. Technically, you don't have to call them that. It's freedom of speech. Anyways, what I'm getting to is we have to focus on what grounds us, what keeps us pure, and what keeps us whole. And I'm hoping that this space can continue to be grounded around that. And so that's what I wanted to get at. Thank you guys for letting me share. Go ahead, Scuba.
Raw milk. Yeah. I drink raw goat's milk. So the goat was appropriate. Yeah, but we should. That's the problem. They're messing with all the food. I mean, that's a conversation, big conversation, about the powers that be. People get on me all the time for saying that, but there is. And they want to mess with the food, the medicine, everything, the water. That's why there's fluoride in the water. It's ridiculous. Yeah,
turning
we
the
need to
freaking
get back
frogs
to more.
gay.
Exactly. Alex Jones wasn't wrong then. You can call him whatever you want, but that one he wasn't wrong about.
He was not. The most craziest thing that everyone thought he was wrong. I didn't think he was wrong. I call me crazy, but Alex Jones has been right about a lot of things. And you'll find that out about in this space. I'm going to start talking about some things that I haven't talked about normally on air because it's very controversial about my certain feelings and my certain objectives about certain things. But I like to rule things out, and that's how I found out that the pills were killing us. The doctors were killing us. They're trying to put stuff in our water that's trying to hurt our
That's why
kids.
they call it practicing medicine.
Yeah, they're always practicing. Why are they still practicing if they're professionals? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. We got Polybus that just joined the chat. There was a request to have somebody come
I
in.
feel like Portland's got a practicing city council.
Yeah, very much so, Matthias. Polly, if you want to grab a mic, go ahead. But the next hand up is Rocco. Go ahead, Rocco.
Yeah, I'm going to say if you've never had raw milk, you owe it to yourself to definitely get you some raw milk, because milk, before they remove the cream, is absolutely phenomenal. If you've never had it, you owe it to yourself to try it. And the other thing I wanted to say is eggs. Real eggs don't need to be refrigerated. They're it's what the process that they put your eggs through that causes them to need to be refrigerated. So you should try and get yourself some real farm eggs. And there's a reason why they say don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's not just so that you would break them all if they fell. It's because eggs can last months without being treated the way that the government treats your eggs, to where you got to put them in the fridge. Eggs don't need to be refrigerated. Not real eggs, or not raw eggs, like raw milk. So yeah, just take it for what it's worth. And yeah, they're definitely messing with our foods and our water supply. And I'm 56 and I don't have half the testosterone that my dad had when he was 56. And that's because of the foods that they're feeding me, not because of the man that I am, trust and believe. But that's just the way it is, sadly. But yeah, thanks again for letting me speak.
Of course, Rocco. I totally agree, man. The I want to put that on a T-shirt. What'd you say about don't freeze your eggs? I think people need to know. Don't freeze your eggs, man. That you can keep them. You don't even have to
No,
refrigerate them.
you
To be honest with you.
Yeah, you don't have to refrigerate them. I didn't say anything about freezing them, but that's a good point. You damn sure don't want to freeze your eggs, and you don't want to get them stuck to the ice. That's another thing you don't want to do. You do not want to let your eggs get stuck on the ice. And Polly, so good to see you, my sister. I don't hardly ever get to see you. So good to see you. I hope I get to hear from you now after I get done talking. I hope you get
Oh
to speak.
man, you got me
That's
dying over
Queen
here,
Polly
Rocco.
to everybody. It is Queen Polly.
Not me. I'm not with that. I'm not with the queen stuff. I'm not with the king stuff. My only king is Christ, our Lord and Savior. And you may call her Queen Polly. I'm just gonna call her Polly for short.
You still got me laughing over here, Rocco. um,
That's what I'm here for, brother. You believe in the hereafter? Now you know what I'm here after. I entertain myself, and those that can hang, those that can't fall. I'm self-centered like that. Yeah, it's all about me entertaining me, because I love me some me. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I'm
I ain't
glad
gonna
that I'm
bring
able
out
to make
dark
other
Polly.
people laugh.
That man Rocco a fool. Is I fool with you, Rocco? Is like I do. It's the long way. That man has had me in more and rolling, because I feel the same way. It's like you get
the
in where
long
you fit
ways.
in. It's like if you like me, you like me. If you don't, it's like no skin off my back. Ain't hurt my feelings. 'Cause I ain't been embarrassed since 8th grade.
Yeah, you should definitely check out my pinned profile picture, my profile thing that I have pinned. It's definitely I am who I am, how I am, the way I am. And if you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. I ain't here to try and make friends. I'm just here to speak truth. It's not a popularity contest for me, because if it was, I'd probably lose. I know me.
And I want to butt in on there too. Is when you said I am who I am. I'm me. This is who I am. I feel the same way, man. I don't. I'm a very judgmental person. We all are. But I'm again the content of your character. I don't care if you think that if you have a set of balls and a penis, and that you think that you're a girl because you wear a dress and put on some makeup and you take some pills to that allegedly says that you are so. You do you. I'm not going to let you force that upon me, but I'm still not going to think of you any differently as a human being other than that. And that's what I want to bring up too is I've been called, a bigot. We've all been called this, And there's people in this chat that believe the same way that I do, and I hope everyone believes the same way that I do on this. Is it's the content of your character, rather not the skin color, not what you believe that you are. I believe there's two genders, men and women, and you can't change what you are, and that's the bottom line. And but if you think that way, I'm not going to think of you anything differently. Come join the chat. Come talk about why you think that way. Come talk about what hurt you to make you think that way, or who hurt you to make you think that way. I want to know. That's why I ask these questions. That's why we get raw. That's why we get real and unfiltered with no apologies here. So yeah, Rocco, thank you for bringing that up, because that's the type of stuff I hear things like that, and it immediately triggers something that is something really dear to my heart, because I've got friends who are in the transgender community. I've got friends who are lesbian, bisexual, and gay. I've got the old. I prefer my friends who are the old school gays. That don't push their agenda upon you, because I'm not pushing my agenda upon you. I just want normalcy here. And so that's all I got to say about that. We got Polly in the chat. Polly and I have had some disagreements, but I guess we made up. Apparently, in a YouTube chat, I talk I talk to so many people on a daily basis, but I'm appreciative of people that I've had disagreements with. I've had disagreements with Scuba. I've had disagreements with Rocco. I've had with like a lot of people that have brought up in this chat today are here in the space talking things out, talking about things how we can better ourselves and better our city. So, Polly, welcome to the show.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Geyer, for having me on your space. I appreciate that we made up and we put our differences aside. And it's also with Unfiltered and Raw, we squashed our beef. And I appreciate that, because we're on the same side, right? We're trying to fight the commies and shit, right? I want to talk about your post that you made about Mercado, I call him Retardo, but Mercado. Yep. And showing the receipts that how similar that Travis Jurr and his threats are. Because today he made a huge threat post about talking about how if you go out to a protest, his side is going to get violent with us now, right? So what do you think about that? Like, how come he never gets striked? How come he never gets us deplatformed? It's ridiculous.
I don't. That's the hard part, because we're supposed to be here. Like, he's posting on X, and his stuff isn't getting deplatformed on X. Elon Musk is supposed to be about this freedom of speech. That's the problem that I have with these people that we want to put as gods, I guess you can say. Elon Musk is a great person. I don't think he's a bad person. I just think that the way things are being ran with freedom of speech, it's other people are being deplatformed that shouldn't be deplatformed, and like you said, they're actively doing it. So there's two things that come to my mind. Is Travis was allowed to continue to do what he does, and this is the exact reason why the FBI got pissed off at me, and I can tell you why. It's because I released his pretrial release conditions before the FBI could release him publicly. The FBI said, "Why'd you do that?" I said, "Because this is America." And so that could be it, is the feds are trying to just let him go and continue to do what he's doing and call for this violence to where where it gets that big of a notice that maybe people do come out and then violence does happen. That's where my brain goes. The second is he's controlled, and unfortunately the opposition is not really who we think isn't the opposition is actually the opposition controlling him to kind of create like a psyop type deal. And then the third option is nobody gives a shit, which I don't think that's the option. But it's very, very comparable to Travis Jurr. I mean, extremely comparable. I mean, you see that, Paulie. And so, I mean, yeah, let's talk about this, man, because I think this is something that calls for some, like, when you have a leftist, none of us are calling for the absolute violence against the other side of the aisle in journalism. Like, I would never ever call for him to get beat up or jumped or hurt or attacked. Never call for that. I've been surrounded by Terrell Bowie, and I don't call for his violence. There's people in my chat and disgusting things, unfortunately, that I see are saying that you should do this to him, you should do that to him, you should take his whatever. I'm not going to do any of that to him, because that's not what I'm here for. And the fact that we have somebody who is a so-called journalist out there documenting, he's doing a good job documenting the live what's happening. I don't know if he clips I don't watch his stuff, but when that comes across my desk and I see that, and somebody says, "Hey, look at what Mercado's saying in a chat," I'm like, "Oh, I got to jump into it." It's disgusting, because I wonder what's in his hard drives, like what was in Travis's hard drives. That's where I go to. So, Polly, if you wanna, I got any reply, but if not, Scuba, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Scuba.
Well, yeah, and it's even like pretend media, and they're trying to run him off too. And any of the left wing streamers down there, they're actively trying to get rid of them now because of like what we talked about earlier, and Angry Oregonians talking about. It's all live stream. It's all, they can't hide their crimes. That's why I pretend was forced to look at the gate the whole time. And then once he started getting a little more curious, panning around for his chat and whatnot, then yeah, it's they're running him out.
So what actually happens when, Mercado Media calls for violence like that, and that violence does happen, and streamers or journalists or personalities do get attacked? Who does that fall on at that point? I mean, Travis Jur threatened freaking ICE agents to mow them down and unload on them. Like, are you kidding me? And the fact that like none of these deaths, none of these, I mean, even when you see the Purdy or the other killing or the shooting that happened, that's also caused by all of this stuff, because like you have somebody on the left who is saying he wants to mow down ICE agents. That's immediately going to cause an uproar, right, from the other side. So you're obviously going to go out there and be like, nope, we're not going to allow that to happen. And then what do you know? Somebody on their side gets killed, and then there's an even more of an uproar on their side. So there's two sides coming at each other. And then while you have the people sitting back at the top, like, hey, we're allowing this to happen. I mean, you see it in Portland. You see the Portland police. You see the DSA in city council. You see the Patriots. I wouldn't say the Patriot, but you see the people that out of towners that I was talking about in somewhere earlier. Is we've got out of towners that they came here, but now where are they now? We're still here. We're still dealing with all this crap. And we got nobody to fend for us. We don't even have the feds to fend for us, which unfortunately, we're going to see Travis Jur walk possibly. Like, think about that. We could possibly see Travis Jur walk on all of his charges, at least federal charges, because we're being controlled by a federal or a democratic dictatorship. And it's because, unfortunately, we've allowed it to happen. And so I guess that's the answer.
It's the Jews, man. It's the Jews. Be real, dude.
I wouldn't say it is. But if you want to elaborate on that, go ahead. I'm not going to specifically go after a specific religious group. That's not what I'm after here. Again, it's the content of your character that I'm after.
He's a troll. He's
all right. We'll drop you.
Your nest
ahead,
really
brother.
now with gay porn.
He snuck through. I got him.
Snuck through. All right. Thank you, Sentinel. I appreciate you. See, we got a good team here. That's another thing too, guys, is you need a good, if you're a journalist out here, and you're a known journalist like me, you need a good team. Because I don't always have, it there 100%. But then if you've got a team to back you, be like, nope, you are correct when you're saying this, you're reporting this, and by the way, we got Overwatch over you, we got your back. That's the kind of stuff that comes out of this when you report the truth. So thank you guys for letting me share. Go ahead, Rocco.
Yeah, I got a hand that oftentimes identifies as a peace sign. Oh yeah, okay, that's what it was. You said something about that they want to be called they them, and that's what they want to hear. That's what they want to be called. And then you said, well, I guess we really don't have to say that because of freedom of speech. I'll give you another reason why you don't have to say they them, because acceptance of mental illness is in and of itself mental illness. And if somebody can't accept themselves and decide that they want to change the body that they're in to be something that it's not, and then they try to command you to call them what they want to be called rather than what they are, and then you go along with that under the guise of compassion and understanding, you are still accepting their mental illness, and they're in and of by way of proclaiming yourself to be mentally ill by accepting their mental illness. So yeah, things need to be done and things need to be stopped. I was going to say that it's shocking that they're going to such extreme causes and issues to do things, but you got to realize what you're dealing with is pure evil. It's not even humanity; it's evil incarnate. And all we can do is pray. Pray that they see the iniquitous in their ways, repent, and turn to our Lord and Savior lovingly, because they were created in God's image just like we were. We all are created in God's image, and we need to remember that as much as possible. In the times where they're really pissing you off and showing just how evil they are. So, yeah, for what it's worth, my suggestion is that we all lovingly pray for our brothers and sisters, because that's the most important thing we can do for them, because they need help. They truly do.
I mean, that's the number one thing is helping the other person right next to you. I mean, that when I look into Terrell Bowie's eyes and he's sitting here screaming at me in the car, and I'm sitting in the car and he's surrounding me with all of his buddies, like I don't see I don't see like fear for me. I see fear for him. Because I've talked to this guy. I've talked to this guy one on one, and back in October when they were gassing us out. Which I'm all for, by the way. I'm not all for the Democrats intentionally doing that and bringing their children to that protest that happened where they gassed us out. That was back in February, I think, anyways. But the ICE agents had no choice but to use the gas, and there were children in that crowd because liberals brought children to that crowd, and unfortunately, some people brought other people's children to that crowd. And when you have medics, right? So let me talk about this for a second. I'm going to give you how disgusting the left is with at least this part of the left, because I can't speak for all Democrats. I've got family members that are Democrats and friends and neighbors and stuff. We're all human. Anyways, that part of the faction of the left, they bring these kids and then they get gassed out, and then the medics come. And if you're a medic, if you're a certified medic, you have to report any form of abuse that you've tended to a child. You have to report that to DHS, which is the Department of Child Service or Human Services, not Department of Homeland Security. When you report that, you have to report that. The legal in itself. That's criminal abuse and child abuse in itself. So you have these people who are going as so far, and this is what pisses me off, and this is why I'm so passionate about what I do, is you have these people going as so far to use their own children as pawns to pass something or to promote their political agenda or their rhetoric, and it's disgusting. I think it's absolutely disgusting, and it's going to come to an end. Because we got people like Matthias Hallett that are running for city council. We got people in this chat or in this space right now that are doing things for their own communities, doing things to block things from happening to their children at their schools. I mean, when you have your own principles,
I just have to say, we have to, to pile on what Rocco said. It's like,
go for it.
We
go,
are
go, go.
fighting spiritual battles right now. So yes, we have to do everything that we physically can, but the prayer is kind of tap it into a power that they don't have access to. That's kind of the dirty little secret of being a conservative, is like we've got more strength and more access. The truth
That's facts.
of life, the creator. It's like we go back to what this country was founded on. This nonsense will end.
Yeah, I mean, what's probably most likely behind you right now, Matthias? I know what it is.
What's most behind me, like wanting to do this, and the
No,
boldness?
on the wall.
Oh, I'm not sitting in the office. I'm sitting on
Okay.
the couch.
You got a constitution in your studio, man.
I have a
You're not-
Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. So
And the
any video
Declaration of
that you guys see me record, and any time I'm on camera doing a Zoom appointment with my clients, that's what this country was founded on. And if you want to go all the way back and read the legislative history before we got to that point, they had a prayer that they started the first, mind you, constitutional convention with. So you can't tell me this ain't no Christian country.
I mean, uh, yes, I agree. And I might get some flack for this, but this is a question that I legitimately have, and it's none of my feelings towards it. But if and I'll let Scuba speak on this too. Um, if we had, if this country was built on Christian values, which I think it was, but if it was truly a Christian nation, um, then why do we have the freedom of religion in our Constitution?
The freedom of religion in our Constitution was because our founding fathers left England where they were not allowed to serve the God. So the Protestant Reformation kind of preceded all of this, but the Church of England and the king at the time deciding that he and only his view of Christianity was the one true way. That's what led the founding fathers, because there's a lot of friends, a lot of, kind of the fringe Christianity denominations are what a lot of the founding fathers were. They came and they founded this place. Each of the colonies, well, the exception of Georgia, we were a prison colony, but for the most part, it's like they all moved there because they wanted to serve God the way that they saw fit. So that's why we have, religious freedom. It's like, yes, this is a country that was founded by Christians, but they also knew that you cannot have a state religion because they just left that in England. So that's why we have the freedom.
Yeah, that's why I love that you mentioned.
We cutting out again. It typically hashes itself out within like less than a minute. Take a sip of water, guys. And let's see if we can get a positive comms check. Hey, Scuba, you there? Okay, go ahead, Scuba. Okay, I think we're good now, or is it me? Okay, I think Scuba dropped, but I just threw him a mic again. I can't hear anybody else. I got one of my mods telling me that they can hear me, but I can't hear anybody else. And that's coming from my YouTube chat. Just give us 1 second here. Anybody want to speak up? Oh, there we go. We're gonna reboot.
All right, yeah. That's why, like I said, that's why I run the Bible study spaces. Is I really think that's part of the mission is to gas up the patriots. We need to have the full armor of God. We need to have the knowledge of the Bible. We need to know what all of that is, and that's how we get there. We need to claim our authority in Jesus Christ. That book says so much
Amen,
about
brother.
claiming our authority in Jesus and doing it all. And God built warriors. He built us for this time and place. No one else is coming. It is up to us right here, right now, to make our stand. And that's, yeah, it's an important piece is the Bible studies.
So I share my morning Bible studies on my X quite often. So I will definitely, when I see you doing a space scuba, I will definitely log in. But I
I
agree.
do them on Mondays and Thursdays at 11 a.m. Pacific time.
Word. I can actually make that one work. That'll be on my lunch break. I'll put it on the calendar.
These guys are like professionals, man. They got like times and slots and
Oh, it's like I work a full-time job. That's kind of the irony against the other candidates. It's like the incumbents have literally been campaigning on taxpayer dimes, and then everybody else is like rich enough to be able to like quit their job and do this. Or they're like,
Beautiful wife behind the scenes.
yeah, it's like if it wasn't for my wife being down and like literally like say these words for me, like we wouldn't be able to make this work. But we're regular people, man. It's like
You live in 600 square.
yeah, it's like I live in a studio apartment. It's like I'm not it's like most of my money that I, saved and earned through working went to the two businesses I lost. It's like everything else is like just trying to rebuild right now. It's like I'm a white collar attorney that like I touch more money than I will see in the next 25 years, even if I want to scratch off. Like it's, it is what it is, but it's one of those like you got to get in where you fit in. It's like I've got a great trade. I'm 35 years old. I'll make enough money. But I'm trying to make sure this city's like nice enough to where my mother-in-law doesn't want to leave and go back to where I came from. Columbus is like damn near feels like a Hallmark town after leaving in Portland.
and that's scary. Like Portland's supposed to be like luxury, man. I mean, we've got the Lloyd Center, that's unfortunately getting torn down. And that's a staple. And guess what they're building? They're building freaking luxury high rises that are going to be like $3,500 to $4,000 a month for a 1 or 2 bedroom. Like, are you kidding me right now?
Guy, you done seen how I live. It's like I couldn't afford to live in any of the stuff that they're building in this place. It's like that's one of the reasons why I'm running. It's like it's blows my mind that the only people that can afford to live here are like refugees from other states that have tons of money. It's like yeah, and other countries. It's like if you look at the people that can afford to live in Portland, it's like it's not anybody that's from here. It's like that's absolutely insane, and all of the problems that make it unlivable. It's like they can be undone. I'm gonna throw this out again. The Park Roads ESA is another attempt. ESD, sorry. There's so many damn acronyms. The ESD is another play that city council is trying to take money from small businesses and put it in a nonprofit's pocket. So that's why people are leaving this place in droves. It's why all of our homies are in, Washington County, Yamhill, heading towards the coast, and these people don't even want to deal with the consequences of their decisions, and they're leaving.
I think you got a lot of people flooding from California too. I know that sounds cliche, but I think it's true.
You're not wrong. So that's kind of the irony with estate planning. I kind of see the trends of money leaving. We've got a $1 million per person exemption for estate taxes. To put that into context, at the federal level, it's 16 million per person. So if you own a home and a retirement account, like the state's going to tax you progressively from 10 to 16% for every bit you're over that. Almost all of my clients will literally move to the ones that kind of still buy into the left leaning politics. They'll put the Oregon property in an LLC because they treat that like tangible personal property. So they treat that like a photo of your mama on the wall. You can take it and put it in your moving truck and go where you want. So we literally have people that are leaving the state to go to California after they left California, made their money in Oregon, and left. We also got folks leaving to Washington. We've got people leaving to Idaho, Arizona, Las Vegas. People that want a little more freedom obviously go a little further east. But it's insane. It's like that's the canary in the coal mine. It's like literally retirement accounts or the vast majority of people's retirement, tax deferred accounts. If they're leaving and then their kids are leaving, that literally leaves people 30, 40 years old and younger that are going to be shouldering these stupid policies for the future. So it's like all of y'all seem to have your heads on straight. I am very sorry. I seem to be the only person who's running that doesn't seem scared of these folks. But I'm going to plug my page, MatthiasHallett.com. If you want to fight the DSA, go ahead and donate. If you are a independent journalist and you would like to interview me and talk about how you see America and what you think that we should do to fix it, if Geyer vouches for you,
You got to
then
come through me first. No.
we can talk. But no cap though. It's like I'm old school. It's like once I know and I've looked you in your eyes and know you're good people, and it's like if you vouch for somebody, then it's the same thing. It's like, but that's how we're doing it. It's like I'm gonna take over this city. I'm a whole problem. Like they're not ready for a country boy.
That's what we
I'm
need,
just
man.
gonna say this. I'm just gonna say this. You can move where you want to. Just don't Portland, my Florida. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and even they try and infiltrate our chats, man. That's how just like disgusting and like just vulnerable these people are. I guess you can say they're very vulnerable. They think they're tough. They think they can get through. They think they can. They think they can suspend us and silence us, but that's not going to happen here in this space, man. We have infiltrators from all different aspects. Whether it come in through our metasphere or where it comes in through physically, through our barriers. Speaking of coming in through the barriers, I've got some very big news. I got the go ahead. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know it's going to happen. I've got Greg Bavino coming onto the Geyer show. Maybe, I don't know about optics and stuff, but maybe I might try and see if I can get him coming in this space. If you don't know who Greg Bavino is, take a look at him. He was the Border Patrol, head of the Border Patrol, and he did all of these ice raids and mass ice raids. We got some things coming up with Immigration Customs Enforcement that they're releasing and that they're going to be doing. And I'm right there for it. I'm all for legal immigration. I'm come from a family, not a family of immigrants, but we've got immigrants in our family. And I've got friends that came from all over the globe that came to this beautiful country whose family brought them here for a better life and worked hard to get here. I don't think people should come in and steal from us. I don't think they should come in and take away our children. And we're not going to allow that to happen anymore. If we have people in charge like Matthias and people running the media sphere like me and people backing me like Scuba and Freedom and Unfiltered and people in this space, like people coming together as a whole to protect our children. That's why I like solidifying our borders, making sure that people are vetted and checked. Because then you have people trying to infiltrate from all sections, and that's how you have a takeover. And look what's happened inside of our city councils. Look what's happened inside of even our own chats. And so I'm thankful for spaces like this. We've got about 25 more minutes left until the space. I'm going to cut it at midnight. And I think that's just going to be, how it's going to go. We're going to start it at 9 and we're going to cut it at midnight. And that's just going to be the rules. So yeah, let's end it with a bang. Whatever topic you want to bring up, continue whatever we're talking about, grab a mic, share the space out, and show your content. If you're an independent journalist in here, come talk, man. I want to interview you. Rocco, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to be one of, if not the first one, to say, Greg Bavino, congratulations, brother. That's like big news. That's something to be very proud of. That he would let you interview him and have a conversation with him. Congratulations on that. I would say you're moving up, but you're already up. But that's big news, man. Congratulations, brother. Good going. Well done. And for what it's worth to you, some guy you know in Florida is really, really proud of you, brother. Keep doing what you're doing.
I appreciate that, man. I'll take the thank, but don't thank me, man. Thank the good Lord for allowing us to keep going. My safety has been kind of at hand here, and the fact that I'm still standing, still breathing, still able to report for you guys, and even all the way across the country, man. I've got ties to Florida too. I love Florida. I lived in Tampa for 6 months. So, and I would never want to Portlandize Florida, but I like the way Florida people live, man. But you guys got some weird crimes out there. I'll tell you what, you per capita, you have some of the weirdest crimes. You look out here, you're like, oh, it's expected. But you look over in like Orlando, holy, but Jesus.
Yeah, yeah, we definitely do have Florida, man. You don't ever hear about Oregon, man, or Portland, man, or Washington, man, or New York, man. But you hear a lot of stories about Florida man does this or Florida man did that. Or we do have Florida, man. That's for sure.
That's cool, man. Well, Rocco, I appreciate you for sticking around and hanging along. Be on the lookout for what's coming next, dude, because we got some incredible things coming. Thank you. Who's grabbing a mic? Let's go.
Well, I just want to say before we do end up getting to the end, good space, Geyer. That's brought a lot of people in here and really good conversation. Nice work.
Thank you, Scuba. Yeah, that was the goal, and mission accomplished here. I like this. We're going to continue this. I said we're going to do it, and we did it, and we're going to continue with it. And so I hope we make this a regular thing. I wouldn't want to step on any other space's toes. So I hope this was a great time. A typical Sunday night at 9:00. We had a
I'll
day
make
of-
myself available, big dog. And I'm
All right.
proud of you. You're doing great things for the city of Portland, and I plan on supporting you as much as I can.
Let's go. Let's go. Much
Yeah,
appreciated.
and don't necessarily worry about stepping on anybody's toes, brother. You ain't trying to hurt nobody's pull on their people. You just trying to pull your own people and have your own space. You ain't trying to step on nobody's toes. But time standards depending on where you are, who you are, what time. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about trying to be hurting anybody else's pull. You're gonna pull who you're gonna pull. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Let's go. Well, I mean, I like listening in on some of this stuff too, so I'm like, crap, I can't run my own thing if I'm interested in this space, because there's a lot of spaces out here. This is a cool thing that, happened
I
on this
will
platform.
say, I'm going to name drop Geyer. I'm going to have you on me and Ben Elt's space. We're in the talks of doing that soon.
Ben Edel?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's my
let's go.
southern accent, Ben
Yep.
Edel.
Is that, how do you say "ol"?
Ol.
That's what I'm talking about. Nobody. That's the only. What the hell is oil?
Oh, okay. So I will tell you the thing that like all the people in Portland that like I don't have an accent back home. I want to say before I say this, but my parents met in the Walmart towel owl, and apparently that's funny for
What'd you
people
just
that
call
haven't.
me?
I called you a brother in Christ, like I always do. But also also my little homie, and also deputy, since I'm going to be Marshall Dillon here.
That's crazy. I saw that text message.
Walmart.
Marshall
Walmart
Dillon.
towel owl.
That's where your parents.
That's where my parents met.
That's another T-shirt.
We've got hella t-shirts coming. We're rolling out the merch. I will say my new logo for my if you just don't fool with the DSA, we have got a burning rose. So that is going to be the back of our t-shirts. Since the red rose is the communist, we're gonna burn them down.
We all know that the DSA and the communists like their symbolism. Man, I've got beef with the DSA, bro, and let me tell you why. I was attacked by the DSA, dude. Chris Olson. He ran for. I mean, Matthias, do you know this name, Chris Olson?
I do know that name.
Oh, you know
and
Chris.
I don't personally know him, but I know the name.
You know the name, and so this guy, I gotta get a video. I have a video of it somewhere. I was walking through. They were doing a protest. I don't know what it was a protest of, but it was over on Burnside. And I was walking through a public sidewalk, and I had my phone out, and I said, "This is a public sidewalk. Please make way." I was by myself, and the guy turns around and he goes, "F you, man." I go, "F me, okay." And as I keep walking, I get shoved by another person who's part of the DSA, an elderly gentleman. And I look, I go, what the hell? And then I turn around and I get socked by Chris Olsen right in the face. I mean, that dude gave me a shiner. I had a shiner for about a week, man. And I don't like getting hit in the face. And it sucks, especially for walking down a sidewalk. But come to find out, everybody in that video that's like, because as soon as I got punched, I got mobbed. I got kneed. I got like elbowed. I got hit in the back of the head with a water bottle.
Hold on. My attorney mind's kicking. When did this happen? We might not be out of the statute of limitations.
We're definitely not, because it was reported and nothing was ever done about it, Matthias.
Oh, well, there's a little thing called the civil system, Bubba.
And you know what the coolest thing was? And no matter what you want to say about Tommy, everybody knows who Tommy is. No matter what you want to say about Tommy, Tommy was the first person that came up to me and said, "Hey, bro, are you okay?" When I was talking to the police, you know, he ran up to me and said, "I got to find Geyer." You know, that's the respect that I have for people. Is you got my back in the meantime. But yeah, bro, it was insane. That I was peeing blood.
Bro, like no cap. I will say this. You have taken
video.
some things that, because you're drawing, a spotlight onto the fraud of this place, you're not going to get justice through the traditional methods. But there's a little thing called the civil system, and tell you one of the fun things about that. You can remove things to federal courts. So if we remove that to where they don't have a single person that they can talk to and lean on, then we might actually be able to get you some justice. At the very least, they're going to have to go on record with a deposition saying why they did all that bullshit.
I mean, let's get other people some justice first. I would love to get the people that have been waiting
that's what I'm
for
saying.
me.
It's like it's one of those. It's like if we can't get it through the the traditional means that you should be able to get justice, we force a civil suit. They got to
100%.
answer that shit.
Yeah, dude, I got so much receipts, bro. Like, we're
Well,
gonna talk.
I know you do, and I'm just saying, it's like I don't do litigation anymore. I got out of what I used to call the ambulance chasing circuit, but like, no cap, it's like I am a problem with teaching people how to pro se represent themselves. It's like, so if we have a bunch of citizen suits from all of your homies that have got platforms, and then we go air this out in the court of public opinion, it's like we might be able to stir this pot that from all angles. Like I said, my goal is to make this place right. However, we got to force it. Tell the truth, shame the devil. And like, you put your hand on that Bible, you better not lie.
100%. And that's what it's all about, telling the truth here. Thank you, Matthias. I'm gonna give the mic to Scuba, and then I'm gonna give the mic to my co-host, who has been behind the scenes keeping the people out that are trying to get in to just cause some nastiness in here. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of that. So, Matthias, all of the speakers, guys, thank you. Go ahead, Scuba.
You can let your co-host go first. Go ahead, Sam.
I appreciate that. I actually appreciate all you guys. Matthias, so many people, I'm not even going to name names tonight. You guys have been absolutely phenomenal. This has been a great space. I think that many people have had a chance to get their point across. I remember something earlier from tonight that kind of sounded like, I don't know if you guys caught that, but there was a little bit of goat inside of there. Geyer, I just want to say thanks for letting me hang out with you and kind of go back and forth. Likewise, if you ever need anything, let me know. Definitely reach out. Happy to help you out. And I'll pass it over to Scoob, and we'll go ahead and wrap up the session. Thank you, guys. Good space. Good space. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say Tommy was mentioned, and if anybody knows Tommy personally, knows that dude is a huge heart, just a big teddy bear. He says what he says, and he's good at what he does. But I have to give Tommy a shout out there. The dude's an amazing person. But yeah, good space. This has all been good stuff. Hope to get some people moving forward on, wanting to be active and getting things done and being mission focused, Patriots unite and move forward. And some things got to be leave bygones to be bygones, and we got a mission here. We have communism breathing down our neck. We can no longer afford to screw around here. We've got to everybody get their skills ready, put their boots on, do what we need to do to move forward towards the ultimate enemy. Because if we don't, then I don't know what to tell you, folks. It's going to be a whole different story that nobody wants to see. So we need to be active now, right the ship, get us back on course here, get America back to the patriotic America that we all know and love and grew up in, and not this shit that's been going on. So I implore all of you to point your skills forward, put your faith and trust in God, and put on that full armor of God and stand firm. Let's stand firm as Patriots United that changes the course before our children have to bear that burden. It's either us or them. And I know that I'll choose us. I'll choose me. I'm doing something.
Thank you, Scuba. Thank you. I appreciate that. And that's a great way to close it out. And we've got some more requests. I got one request, and this is how we're going to end it every time. We're going to end it with prayer. You know, I think prayer is huge, and I think it drives everything. And I think we've got a bunch of people who follow the same dude I follow in here, and that's who we're praying to, and we're just going to thank him for the courage that we have to get through all of this. So, as we end this in prayer, I want to thank you guys for coming into this space. We're going to hold this at 9 p.m. every Sunday. We might have little spurts in between, and we might hold a quick little one in between during the week just to see how everybody's doing, do a little check-in, whatever it may be. But this is the space. This is a community. This is something we're starting here. So, Lord Jesus, all I want you to do for us right now is to grant us the strength to stand for what is true. Give us the courage to question what is hidden and the resolve to bring the unseen into the light. Protect my mind from the deceit and my voice from silence. When the road is steep and the truth is hard to bear, give me the endurance to walk it. Amen. This has been
Amen, brother.
Through Christ our Lord, amen.
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 All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been an episode of The Geyer Show. Tune in next week to The Geyer Space. We'll end it with another prayer on that episode. Man, I'll tell you what, I'm not afraid to show my faith. I'm not afraid to show what I believe in and show what we all want to bring, which is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. This has been an episode of The Geyer Show featuring a Geyer Space segment. Thank you for tuning in to everybody who joined in the comments, in the chat, in the space. Until next time, we'll see you later.
This is the Geyer Show. It's the Geyer Show.
This is the Gaia Show.